Donald Trump stumbled out of the White House this morning, looking sick and disoriented. But of course, he still had time for cameras and applause. He started spinning chaos. Portland, he said, is on fire. Insurrection everywhere. Politicians scared for their lives. Reality check, the city is calm, protests are mostly peaceful, and he's twisting the story to justify his own aggressive actions.
We're going to look at that. It was amazing. Portland is burning to the ground. It's insurrectionists all over the place. It's Antifa. And yet the politicians who are petrified. Look, the politicians are afraid for their lives. That's the only reason that they say, like, there's nothing happening. And you've seen it. The place is burning down, and they pretend like there's nothing happening. So we'll take a look at the order. We haven't seen the order yet.
Next, healthcare. A reporter asked about extending ACA subsidies. Trump promises, vague plans, endless delays. Meanwhile, millions of Americans face skyrocketing premiums and financial ruin. But hey, at least there's another golden coin for the collection.
President, are you open to extending the Affordable Care Act subsidies?
We want to fix it so it works. It's not working. Obamacare has been a disaster for the people, so we want to have it fixed so it works.
And then a reporter asked the question everyone's thinking. What about all the federal layoffs? How many Americans are losing their jobs because of the shutdown? Here's what he had to say.
What about the layoffs?
Well, I call them Democrat layoffs. They're Democrat layoffs. They're causing it. We're ready to go back. You know, we have a record-setting economy. We have a record-setting country. Prices are way down. We're doing better than the country's ever done. And the Democrats hate seeing that. It's up to them. Anybody laid off, that's because of the Democrats. Thank you.
And then the predictable attack. The judge he appointed, female immigrant, suddenly a villain in his narrative. Her only crime? Following the Constitution, ruling against his unconstitutional power grabs.
Well, obviously, I don't know the judge, but if he made that kind of a decision, Portland is burning to the ground. You have agitators, insurrectionists. All you have to do is look at the television, turn on your television, read your newspapers. It's burning to the ground. The governor, the mayor, the politicians are petrified for their lives.
Mr. President,
and you have a judge like that, that judge ought to be ashamed of him.
Trump's Pentagon mouthpiece Pete Hegseth just went on Fox News and gave a disaster of an interview. He basically said reporters should be treated like enemies and called diversity in the military the dumbest slogan of all time. Here's Hegseth attacking reporters for doing their jobs, calling journalism disgusting because they dare to ask questions about classified actions taken under Trump.
How big of a problem are leaks coming out of the Pentagon?
Well, obviously they're not helpful. They're not legal. If someone's handing over or providing information that is classified or otherwise not for disclosure, that's a problem. So we're doing everything we can protocol-wise to make sure that those are minimized. And unfortunately, we live in an era where people do things like that. Journalists solicit things like that, which I think is disgusting. When journalists are saying, hey, send us classified information. That's why we have a policy at the Pentagon around what kind of conduct journalists will have in the building, too. We take these things very seriously, and leaks are a problem. We're going to try to address them.
And would you start using polygraphs to stop the leaks?
I think we'll use whatever tools we need, ultimately, especially with our own service members who can never be party to that, or our own civilians who can never be party to leaking. We're setting clear rules at the Pentagon. We're not playing games. We're not allowing everybody to roam around the building. You know, that was the policy before, Peter. If you were a Pentagon reporter, you could just walk around the building. No badge, no escort, no nothing. Walk into offices, talk to anybody. Who knows where there's classified information. We're making the rules more like you might say the White House. Can you roam the White House wherever you want?
Typically not without getting a Secret Service guy up in my grill.
So we're just normalizing it. Yes, you can be in the press area, briefing room, but if you want to move around the building, you're going to have a badge. It's going to be clear. You're going to be escorted when you do so, and we have expectation that you're not soliciting classified or sensitive information.
And then he said this: if you let the beards go, the bellies go, the uniforms go, pretty soon the big stuff goes. That's Pete Hegseth, lecturing America's military about dignity like it's something you can measure with a tape. He talks about broken windows, but what's really broken is his understanding of service. Because our troops don't fight for perfection, they fight for principle.
Top NCOs, who are the ones that enforce standards. And in fact, a lot of their heads were nodding the most. They're like, yeah, thank you for letting us do our job to make sure our formations are what they should be. Because you remember Giuliani in New York, the broken windows theory of policing? if you don't police the small stuff, if you let the beards go and the bellies go and the uniforms go and the fitness standards go, pretty soon the big stuff goes. Because our whole military is premised on unit cohesion and unity of mission. That's why diversity is our strength. It's such a dumb slogan. It's the dumbest slogan of all time. No, our strength is our unity. It's our clarity. It's the mission we share, love of country, and an understanding that we're in this uniform. I'm looking at folks right over there wearing this uniform. It's a point of pride. It's about doing something greater than yourself to serve the nation when you could do 1,000 other things. We're going to do right by that responsibility. Those men and women are not civilians. They're members of the military. They're in the profession of arms. They live by a code we don't expect civilians to live by. That code is back. And at every echelon, we're going to live by that and lead by that. President Trump has set that tone, and we're going to continue doing it.